So this is a walkthrough for A Lost History, which is off the new album Time Lapse. It was one of the first ones I did by myself after Satan just became me. So I can't remember whereabouts it came in the chronology of making the album. I can't remember if it was like one of the first ones that I put together, or whether it was one of the last ones. I can't really remember, but. Anyway, what better place to start than our old friend, the Twin Peaks pad, which I think has made about 3 or 4 different appearances in these walkthroughs that I've done so far. It's a kind of secret weapon, I suppose. It's just like, listen to that. It's basically just a Roland MKS70 walkthrough on YouTube that I stole. Well, I didn't steal it. I mean, I downloaded it. I just ripped it basically because I wanted that particular bit of synth and I couldn't find it anywhere else. So I just had to cheekily record that bit and then just swamp it in reverb and stuff. Oh yeah, this main synth line. This is really weird. After it became just me, that's how it should sound. It looks like I've pitched it down. I realised I didn't have any gear really to make stuff with, so. I didn't have any synths anymore, and I didn't have any cool toys to use on my laptop. So what I ended up doing was trying to find just samples of synths and arpeggiated synths if I could. And this one was for the main ARP in this was from a music blog. I can't remember which one it was now. It's like Music Radar or something, like a really old school kind of techie music website. And it was from an old page from about 2006 or something, and they were hosting all of these synth ARPs that somebody had put together in this little zip file. And for some reason, it was still being hosted on the website years and years after they'd uploaded it. They'd done this article, and so I got it, and I thought yes, right, here we go. So they make an appearance in quite a few Satan tunes, but this, I think at the start, it wasn't supposed to be the main bit of the main meat of the track. It became that afterwards, but it's a really nice synth ARP anyway, and I kind of pitched it down a little bit and just went with it, just lay it up over it. Some of the percussion's really quiet as well. It's really kind of blink and you'll miss it. It's kind of, I didn't realise I was being that kind of subtle when I was putting this one together with all the kind of clicky samples. That was just the percussion there is just from an old minimal techno label that gave away loads of remix stems for free, and this was in about 2004 or something like that, so they've just stayed on my laptop ever since then. But some of them are really nice, and that's a really nice clicky kind of thing, and I don't listen to much minimal techno at all anymore, but at the time it was they're pretty interesting, so I just kept all this stuff. Some nice 808 hats there. I like those kind of long, dreamy kind of hats. I put a lot of them in the time-lapse stuff actually, because they really give it a really nice hypnotic kind of drive and feel, because everything's quite slow. This is at 90 BPM, so it really gives you that hooky, hypnotic kind of drive without being too. You don't have to put 808 loads of techno kicks in there. Guitar as well, in some of the other walkthroughs, I explained that as I loop most of these guitar melodies, I'm very conscious of trying not to make them boring. I try to make the guitar stuff sound interesting. So here, there's two kind of melodies panned, one in each ear and one in the middle, which is just coming up in a minute, I think. Just to give it that extra bit of something else, just so it's not the same guitar looping around and around and around. It's quite nice to put a bit of reverb and a bit of delay so the tails are kind of coming in and out. But there's 2 different things playing in each ear, and it's kind of pinballing around with this synth and everything else. I don't even know what this is, this pop thing. I must have got it ages ago. I must have got it years ago, but it's quite. I think I put it in there because it gave it that bit of an attack, bit of a kind of clank to go with all the other percussion stuff, so you can actually make out something. This is just the other guitar that kind of goes in the middle of everything, quite deep. like on a lower string. It's quite a nice counter to it. It underpins the other guitars going on, so it gives it this really thick kind of texture while the guitars working together. There you go. They sound like quite a lot fuller, a lot thicker, like all playing together and all playing slightly different stuff. So I think as this was me, when the band just became me, I wanted to kind of like showcase the guitar a bit more, because obviously that's what I did in the band when it was two of us, and kind of what I was known for doing anyway. So I wanted to like bring the guitar out a bit more. So a lot of these newer tracks have a lot of kind of guitar thickness in them, or like a more based around guitar rather than just like a synth line or, you know, a kick drum or something like that. And this little outro bit's really nice actually. It was a bit of a weird thing, because it kind of deviates a little bit from the main melody that's going on in the track. There's a few more, like the chords are kind of there, but then there's like a real like little minor chord there just kind of like strays off the beaten path from everything else a little bit, but gives it that kind of like yearning feel to it. And how I usually make tracks is that I load up in Ableton kind of a lot of the just clips, and just constantly just play over each other and just like build these like little building blocks of the track. And I'd done this, and it didn't really fit with everything else, and I was like, you know, I want to use it, but it doesn't fit over this like. And like, if you're making a 9-minute track, 10-minute track, you can't just like put everything in all at once, because it just sounds boring. You can't just loop that for 10 minutes. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll start with the more push rocky guitar and the synth and stuff, and I'll use this as like a kind of outro, which is what ended up happening in the track. And I recorded a bass line to match it. I didn't want the old bass line just to go over it, because it didn't really sound right, so I did another bass line and then just faded out with this, and it's just really, really nice, like, and then just kind of cuts off, and then that's your lot. But yeah, it was a nice little track there.